And first, I must say that I'm supporting the motion about the rules for private land use and land holdings. And I want to thank Honorable Ferdinand for bringing in this motion, Mr. Speaker. Secondly, I must say that land, to us, where I come from, is a very, very important asset. And you can be known by the size of land you have, as wealthy or not. And even to add on that, Mr. Speaker, before a girl is married off, the father would always ask, do these people have land? Yes or not. If they have land, then they are wealthy. You can have where to go and live, where your children will live, and even to food, and even food maybe on the table will be put by that, Mr. Speaker. So land to us is very, very important. However, and land fragmentation has been the issue that we have, Mr. Speaker. Looking at the size of land at the moment, I can say that the families who had 5 acres, those are our grandparents. Then coming to our fathers who have maybe 3 sons, the land has been fragmented to 1 acre, and then reaching our age and our children, they will have very small, less than 1 acre, maybe have 1 acre or a quarter, so that it may not be used for something that is very important. So I want to support this motion by saying that, and the land use, which involves the management and modification of natural environment, to build it into very important use, is actually what I'm supporting. Land for agriculture. I must say, Mr. Speaker, that if we have many people living in particular area, just maybe like in the North Rift, those sides of Trans Nzoia, there's large fast pieces of land. They can live in a particular area that is designated for settlement, and then the rest can be for agriculture. But you realize that, Mr. Speaker, in some places, depending on the fertility of the land, depending on whether the land can be used for arable or for other uses, people tend to move away from such places. So to me, I would say that I support the fact that people should live in a particular settlement area, and then other areas can be left for farming, and that is when we'll have food security, large vast of land to be used for farming. And Mr. Speaker, when it comes to places like Mau Forest, people have actually gone deep into the forest because of the fact that the land is very sparse or scarce where I come from. And that one has been an issue. It is also something that has disturbed many, realizing that others have lived up as squatters. Others have to be evicted from the forest, and others live in camps just because of the issue of land. So if we come out very clearly, Mr. Speaker, and bring in rules on how this land can be used and publish those rules on the use of land, it is very important. We have people who have large pieces of land, fast, but not, I may not say they are not using they are not put into much use, but we do not know how they are using it. And that is why when people go and live in those areas as squatters, then I think they should not be chased away, because what is that land using? And nobody, when they go out of this world, Mr. Speaker, will go with this land. Can you imagine some people don't have even where to put a house, and then the land is there for years and years. As much as everybody has a right to own property, the way we've just read from the Constitution, we should actually be considerate. And if somebody is not using that land for years and years, and they are not even paying the land rates, then this land, which belongs to the government, just the way we've just read that all the land in Kenya belongs to the people of Kenya collectively, and as a nation, and even as a community, as individuals. So if an individual is not using that land, then why don't we let other people own that land and use it properly? We have land that is used for recreation, but people are not using it for recreation. People have actually exploited it further to use it for other purposes. And it is because of the fact that the population has gone up and people are not able to have even where to live. And that is why the land that is set aside for recreation has been exploited, Mr. Speaker. We also have land that is used for maybe mining. I would actually say that such land, after exploitation, need to be rehabilitated so that that land can be used for other purposes. So I would say, Mr. Speaker, that land use is very important to modify how it can be used. I would also say that for us to make sure that even the people who don't have land can have, then we need to look into these issues correctly. We have people who own land, maybe they don't even have title deeds, and they still own that land, I can say illegally. Can they have the title deeds? And Mr. Speaker, some people have been killed because of the issues of land. So I want to say that the government, as we come and discuss in Parliament, and the ministry should take this one seriously. The arable land has been overexploited, so that issues of soil erosion has taken place. Now, looking at people planting along the roads, because that is just a public land, and along the reserves, it is because of the other areas that belongs to individuals, the large vast of land that are not used well. So I would actually say that when we have these rules, and of course the regulations, it will go hand in hand with helping our people, and even to know how to acquire land also. It will help those who are landless to be settled. It will help those who have not been exploiting their land to bring it into very important use, so that the land that is just lying idle, people will wake up and use it correctly, Mr. Speaker. And that is when we'll also have food security.